questions associated to different milestones in life. There's a lot of wondering around, are oils safe to use during pregnancy? What about with babies? How should I dilute for the age group that I'm in? And what's the best practice for that? So I'm just going to real quick, if you just want to make sure that you're muted, and then we'll keep background noise down, and then feel free to unmute yourself if you do have questions. So our intention is to go over each of the different age groups. We're going to try to keep it consolidated tonight so that we have time to share our panel discussion, share some testimonies, and also do a little bit more question and answer. There's a lot to cover, so if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll make sure to stay on track. I'll get us started and I'll talk about pregnancy and also babies. And for those that are meeting me for the first time, my name is Katrina Potter. I've been involved with doTERRA for just over 6 years. I started out using them at the time I was a pediatric SLP, and I focused primarily on feeding and also language delays with the 0 to 5 population. And that was one of the areas that really intrigued me as I started to continue learning more about the benefits of essential oils, because what I was finding is a lot of the children that I was working with were being put on synthetic medications at 6 weeks old, at 8 weeks old. I was specializing in feeding, and so I was seeing a lot of these little itty bitty babies, fresh babies being put on meds, and it really just prompted me to want to learn more. What are some other alternatives in the natural realm that can support these babies so that they're not hitting their bodies with synthetics immediately? And so for me, I started sharing them with families that I was working with of, hey, let's try this. What about this? And was very quickly seeing results. And then it went into behavioral aspects and supporting with, hyperactivity and focus, things like that. And I can still to this day remember the very first session where I started incorporating essential oils. I had this little boy that was extremely hyperactive, and it was always such a challenge to get him to just attend to a session with me. And I had a diffuser necklace because I wasn't able to put oils on the kids that I was working with, but I could have them on myself. And I had this diffuser necklace, and I just asked him, like, come over and let's smell my necklace, smell this. And I had him take deep breaths, and he immediately shifted, and I was able to get him to sit down and attend with me. And it was just such a gift to be able to have this other tool that I could add into the services that I was providing. And then from there, a few years later, I had my first child, and I was able to integrate oils into my pregnancy, nursing, and I now have 2 little girls and have used oils throughout my entire pregnancy and labor, delivery, all of that. So I'm excited to share more around that. Sorry, there's just a little feedback, so I just want to put that. So with pregnancy, let's start there. With pregnancy, we have one thing that's really important is with pregnancy, there's a lot of things that are shifting nutritionally. And so you'll hear us talking across all ages. One of the key things to keep in mind is proper supplementation. The oils can do so much for the body, and also if we're deficient in the key vitamins and nutrients and minerals and all of the key aspects that our body needs, the oils can only do so much. So if we want to allow the oils the opportunity to reach the gamut of what their potential is, it's really important that we're providing our body with whole food supplements. For me, I think one of the biggest relieves in my pregnancy journey was having supplements that I could tolerate. I didn't have the upset nausea, none of the stereotypical pregnancy symptoms, and it was just such a blessing. So if that's a season of life that you're in, or if you know someone that is, I can't say enough about the Lifelong Vitality Pack, both for the mother, but also for the developmenting baby. So the Lifelong Vitality Pack is phenomenal for that. Another thing that it often happens during pregnancy is a lot of aches and pains and joints. And so when we're thinking about pain-related aspects, Aroma Touch is a great blend. You can use Deep Blue in smaller moderation. There's always the question of like, is this safe for pregnancy? I'll share in my own journey. I used everything other than clary sage throughout the pregnancy. It was just a matter of moderation. So rather than slathering myself in Deep Blue, a small amount. If you're wanting to take a more cautious approach, you can certainly omit things like Deep Blue, but the Aroma Touch is a great gentle option. And you could just rub that right in, mix it with some carrier oil. You're going to see on the bottom of this sheet, if you do have the handout in front of you, some dilution ratios. Just mixing it with a carrier oil. Really, when it comes to identifying your dilution ratio, you just want to keep in mind a pregnant woman's skin is much more sensitive because of the hormone changes. So adding more coconut oil is just a great safety measure. And if you put it on and your skin is uncomfortable, just add more coconut oil to that. So Aroma Touch is a great thing for pain. And then the next thing is when it comes to indigestion, upset stomach, I can remember one night when I was pregnant for my daughter, I laid down and it was the most intense heartburn experience I've ever had, and immediately went and grabbed Digesten, and it was like a light switch went. I went from just extreme pain at the end of the pregnancy, everything was squished, and Digesten was a huge relief. So that's something. From a pregnancy standpoint, if you're comfortable ingesting it, you can put a drop under the tongue, you can rub it along the sternum, but the Digesten and the Digest tabs are awesome. One thing that's not in here for morning sickness, something that I found to be extremely helpful was taking Terrazyme on an empty stomach. So as soon as I rolled out of bed, I knew I had terrible morning sickness with the girls. And as soon as I rolled out of bed, I had the Terrazyme right on my nightstand. I would force myself to take 2 Terrazymes, and then it helped a ton. So that's something as well. And the nice thing is when you are experiencing that initial morning sickness, to have something without a smell was nice too. So Terrazyme is a capsule, it's a digestive enzyme, and you can take it internally that way. And then beyond pregnancy, when we're looking into nursing, one thing that's important is to avoid peppermint at the nursing stage. So you don't have to worry about it during pregnancy, but when you're nursing, peppermint can reduce the milk supply. And if you're looking to increase the milk supply, fennel is a great option. One thing that would be a great outside of this conversation to talk about is if you're noticing a reduction in your milk supply, there's a possibility of a tongue and a lip tie, and that can just make it challenging for the baby to be able to pull the milk from the breast. So if you're noticing that you have a reduced milk supply, that would be something to pursue just as a side thing. And I'm happy to answer any questions regarding tongue and lip ties. I have experience with it both as an SLP and also my own daughters. So that's something with that. Then to piggyback off of a tongue and a lip tie, often the baby has colic. So from a colic perspective, 2 things that helped immensely were chiropractic, having the tongue and the lip ties repaired, and then also geranium and dill. Dill is a seasonal oil, so you can't always get it, but if you can get your hands on it, combine that with geranium, and that's phenomenal for the colicky stage. Some other things that you can do, myrrh or frankincense on the umbilical cord site. If you think about frankincense and myrrh were brought to baby Jesus, there's tremendous healing properties in both of those oils, and myrrh is a great oil that's gentle for overall cellular health with babies. The next one's in thinking about infants. So with this, I used oils is the minute that they were born. I put frankincense on the both girls' brain, like head, not on their brain. I didn't touch the brain. Put them on their head and then also along their spine. And then I also use balance right at birth. And we could do a whole class on that. But frankincense and lavender, they're great for overall cellular health as the baby is growing. Lavender is a great calming oil, also for any skin irritations or diaper rashes. Lavender is a gentle option for that. The other thing that's nice with lavender, and I combine it with copaiba for a teething baby, you can apply it right to the jawline, and it's a gentle way to help relieve the pain. Highly diluted clove, so taking 1 drop of clove in a 10 milliliter roller bottle and then applying that on the gums is a great numbing option that's in the natural world. And then Tamer is a blend that's designed specific for digestive issues for infants and children. So that's if you're noticing that your baby is really gassy, again, reminder of the tongue and the lip tie is possible. But if you're noticing sensitivities to different foods and the baby needs a little extra help with digestion, Tamer is a great safe option that you can rub on the abdomen. And then just a reminder as far as reducing synthetics, if you've ever looked at baby shampoo and those types of things, I was blown away when after the baby shower, I had gotten a lot of great, shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff for babies. And when I looked at the ingredients, it was scary to me. Like the baby skin is so fine and easily penetratable with chemicals, and there was all sorts of it. So just something to keep in mind. There is the baby line for that.
Do you have any suggestion for babies with constipation?
Yeah, so the Tamer can be used for that as well. And one thing that we had a tremendous success with, so Tamer is good for overall any type of digestive issues. One of the things that we found, just to go on a little bit of a tangent, is using a probiotic. So I think it's called Mama's, I'll find out for you. I can't remember. There's like a liquid probiotic that we found, and that helped if the mom had to take antibiotics during pregnancy, or if the baby had been on antibiotics, it could strip the digestive system of the good bacteria. And so reintegrating a probiotic. And then once our children were about 6 months, then we started doing the PB Assist Junior as their probiotic. It's the one from doTERRA. It's a powder, and we could just mix it in with whatever they were eating. But I would say the Tamer is great, looking at a probiotic. And then the other thing that we did was take a Terrazyme capsule, open it up, and there's a powder on the inside. And then for older kids, we would, like when, again, 6 months or so, we would just put like a quarter of one of those capsules in the applesauce, mix it in, and then that helps with digestive enzymes. So just helping the baby's body break down the food. So hopefully, Sarah says, I use Terrazyme, for my baby's digestive system. We broke open the capsule, put it in her milk once a day, mood improved, and she ate well. Yeah, so Terrazyme is a game changer for sure. Does that help with your question? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect, thanks. So as far as pregnancy, infants, toddlers, the oils are safe to be used. There's tremendous benefits, and we could certainly, if finding questions, there's some great resources as well. There's the Essential Midwife that you can find that book. It's by Stephanie Fritz, and she gives you all sorts of recipes. There's a few other resources, so I can post those in the comments after. As you're switching over into using the oils for babies. And then one last thought that I'll just share a little bit in regards to special needs is there's something called Symphony of the Cells, which is a layering technique that can be applied along the spine of the oils for using the oils along the spine. And there's different techniques and protocols for different areas of special needs. So if you have a child with ADHD, or you have a child with, focusing things going on, whatever it might be in the special needs gamut, there are great protocols in there. Another thing that is phenomenal for children, and Carrie's going to be talking about the vitamins specifically, but for children that have special needs, the omegas are phenomenal in an overall brain support aspect. Frankincense, also great. It helps to pull out any inflammation on the brain and also help with clarity. DDR Prime is another great one if you do have a child with special needs, and just for your children in general. It helps with overall cellular support, cellular rejuvenation. And then I also love Balance and Vetiver for children that have difficulty with self-regulation or have hyperactivity. Balance is a great oil that helps them to get into homeostasis. And then vetiver is typically the best calming oil for a child that has special needs. There's a polarization that can happen with lavender where it can stimulate a child that has special needs. And so vetiver is a great calming option for that. And this is certainly something that we can go on hours of tangents on, but for the sake of tonight, just giving like little snapshots. And then if you do have specific questions, feel free to reach out in that. So as far as pregnancy, nursing, infants, and toddlers, I know that's just a morsel of the opportunities that are available, but for the sake of time, we're going to stop there. And I am going to pass the time over to Carrie Ruff, and she's going to share with you ways to use oils on kids.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Carrie Ruff, and I've been a doTERRA wellness advocate for 4 years now. When I first started this journey, I was conscious over what medications did to the body, but not super conscious, right? So when I was introduced to natural solutions, I was immediately intrigued. My littlest was 2-ish then, I believe. And as I learned more and more about this lifestyle, I had no idea what essential oils and all the supplements really did to our bodies. So from there, I've been hooked ever since. I mean, it's so empowering for me to have that independence to provide these solutions to my children when I know that there's just some things that we can't control, and the toxins and processed foods and things, and even immunizations and so forth that are given to our children. And if I can take any other precaution that I possibly can in cleansing their body and supporting their immune systems and stuff in the most absolute natural possible way, is the best feeling a mother can ever have, ever. And I'm pretty sure if you're a mom, you can totally vouch for me. So since then, it's just been a lifestyle shift for my entire family. So focusing on kids age 2 and up, I've been using, like Katrina mentioned, I was taking the LLV when I was pregnant. I've been using essential oils on my youngest ever since she was born, and of course in the womb. And I've been using them on my oldest, Georgia, ever since she was about 2. She was actually going to teach this with me, but looking over there in the bed, I think she fell asleep. So sorry about that. She was going to tell you her opinion on the vitamins and what she does. So I'll take that over. So starting with the kids' vitamins, I have that here. These are the basic multivitamins. They are watermelon and they're chewable, and they have a little bit of a sour taste because they're whole food supplements. They are a different texture and a little bit of a different taste than like the Flintstone vitamins. So they add a little bit of that sour in there. My youngest, Bexley, she's been gobbling them up since she had teeth. And even before that, we were kind of crushing it and putting in some of her food. So they absolutely love them. Yes, they're very good. Even if Liz is saying that she's tried them, I have definitely tried them. They taste very, very, very good. And like I said, they're whole food nutrients. So they're bioavailable to their bodies. They're not made of synthetic agents that are just getting junked up in their digestive system, and they're actually helping the body, again, due to that bioavailability, and they're being released directly right into the body. Tons of vitamins here. And then you can actually you should pair with the omegas. So again, I think George is sleeping, so I can be a little bit more transparent here. We call this magic juice. So it is a liquid and it's 5 ml per dose. What we do is we put it right in juice. Their favorite is orange juice because it does have wild orange essential oil in it. Of course, it is land and sea omegas. So of course it's a fish oil, but we don't say that. We just call it magic juice, and we put the dose right in the, excuse me. Yeah, we call it magic juice, and we put the omegas right in the juice there. Of course, it's going to float on top, but they don't taste it. It does not taste like fish or anything. Really great. Katrina touched base on some of the benefits there. Great for the immune system, great for cognitive function. Omegas is a huge thing for eyes, brain, all of that type of stuff in developing children. That's a really key addition to having a multivitamin for children. And both of my kids, even Bexley, they've been taking it ever since, and they have never thrown a fit. Absolutely love their magic juice. Next, we have the PB, and that does need to stay in the fridge, by the way, those Omegas, just so you know, once they're open, keep them in the fridge. Next, we have the PB Assist Junior. These are the sachets Katrina was discussing that are a powder form of the probiotics. Probiotics, again, guys, this is key for children. They are getting a lot of processed foods and stuff on top of antibiotics at times. My children are very, very rarely ever on them, maybe once every few years. But even so, just the processed foods, the lack of nutrients, probiotics are going to help nutrients better absorb into the body. Great for the immune system. Obviously, this is your good bacteria, which I think we all need right now, because our good bacteria is the lifeline. It's our immune system in the body. I hear something. Is someone talking? Okay. And I don't know if anyone was just talking. Anyhow, so these taste like pixie sticks. We call them sugar packets for the girls. They throw them right down, and they're very tasty. You can add them to water or juice if you want to. My girls just love taking it just like a pixie stick. I do not have to fight them for this or the Omegas or the multivitamins. The girls look forward to it every single day. Absolutely love that in the regimen. We do have the On Guard Touch roller. We like to put that up and down the spine and on the base of the neck there. That's great for the immune system. Putting it on your feet too, that's key. We have the On Guard beadlets, and I'm going to try to show you the size of these. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this in the camera. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. These are teeny tiny, and each drop, there's a quarter drop of On Guard essential oil in here. The girls just swallow them. Georgia, she's my oldest, she needs some water. Bexley just pops them right in. She actually chews them and breaks them open and loves the On Guard. Crazy, but then that way they're getting the On Guard internally to help with their immune system. But adding on topically is a great enhancement too. We also, I do have the On Guard roller here. So this has a fractionated coconut oil, so it's pre-diluted, good to go. I do suggest, of course, kids age 2 and up, just on that spine and the feet. We also have the Breathe roller that we like to use on the chest for anything respiratory, if and when that happens. And you can also put it on your feet. It's like the same theory as putting Vicks on your feet. And then here we have the kids line. So when you buy the kids collection, you can see up there that it has this cute little carrying case. They have these tops. This is like a silicone top. All the other they're like all over the house at this point. Like, we've had these since they came out. I mean, we integrate them, but the silicone toppers have been lost. And they have little keychains. They come with flashcards so they can learn which oils for what. And it's all head to toe body, great for aches and pains, digestion, emotions, the immune system, all sorts of things here. And then I'm just going to wrap it up with, for those, especially that are a little bit older in the school age, some things we can use. We got Thinker, which is like a focus blend, great for homework or just any type of focusing. And if it's pretty enhanced, that inability to focus or trouble focusing, we also have the adaptive roller. Of course, it's got that pre-diluted in there and also in tune. These are more of like the adult version to help with focus, but they're really great for those children, especially, like I said, school age, that have a hard time focusing. So those are our daily staples in our house, and the girls love it. Wish Georgia was on to give her testimony. But no fighting. The kids absolutely love it. And like I said, it's very empowering to be able to offer these solutions to my children, and over the years see a huge difference in their emotions, their immune system. My God, like I said, we rarely ever go to the doctors. you know what I mean? We haven't since COVID, and it's a very amazing thing to be able to offer in my household for my children. And with that said, I'm going to pass over the mic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah King. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I have been working as a wellness advocate with doTERRA and educator for just about 3 years now. And I'm going to talk a little bit about teens. So when I think about teens, I think about hormonal health, I think about emotional health, and I think about skin health. And those are the top 3 things that I think when we think about teenagers that we want to give an opportunity to support. So I'm going to start right off by talking about skin health. And I'm going to also put a disclaimer on this and say this is not just for the teens. For those of us on the call or on the live that struggle with adult acne, this is a great option for adults as well. So we're going to talk about HD Clear. HD Clear is a blend of products that have powerful components that help promote clear complexion and reduce breakouts. The use of the foam wash or the roller to spot treat are really fantastic options to be able to target skin health and to help to reduce acne. I'm going to jump right into talking about emotional health and uplifting feelings and finding a bit of a balance. And we're going to talk a little bit about Adaptive. So Adaptive is our calming blend, and we have an entire educational series on Adaptive in and of itself and all of the different pieces within Adaptive that play a part in the different systems in the body that help to ease and calm while also evening emotions. And that's a whole nother series, but for the purposes of today, Adaptive comes in a roller. It comes in an oil version, and it also comes in capsule form. And so if you have, a teen that doesn't care for the smells of things on an outward way, there are different constituents in the capsules that can also assist with calming and with evening emotions. And this is a handy roller too that I like to keep. This is one of the ones that I keep on hand in my pocket. I use it with my kids. And as Carrie mentioned, it's a really effective way to assist kids in easing their emotions. And I also we'll use it like before meetings when I'm feeling nervous and things like that. So it's a really great versatile roller to have for both kids and for parents or anyone. The other that you see pictured here is Motivate. Motivate is actually the first roller that I carried faithfully with me at all times. Motivate is the encouraging blend. And so Motivate has mints and citruses. So when you think about this, you're thinking about uplifting, you're thinking about a pleasing smell, you're thinking about creating an opportunity for to feel soothed, to feel, to promote just a kind of that feeling of ease in the day. Next here, pictured under teens, you're going to see Clary Calm. Now, Clary Calm wasn't something that I jumped right into when I first started working, but now with doTERRA, but now I'm finding how super effective it is. So it specifically was designed for women of all ages. It's cooling and smoothing, or soothing, excuse me. So it's cooling to touch. So think about hot flashes. If you have a hot flash, you can roll this on the back of your neck and it helps to cool off your system. You can take a warm compress with Clary Calm or a warm compress or a heating pad with a couple of drops of Clary Calm and put it over your abdomen during your menstrual cycle to ease the symptoms associated with that. It's a really helpful blend that helps to center. So if you're feeling a bit off kilter hormonally, it's a really wonderful blend. And I think that for teenagers, it gives an opportunity to have some natural relief to some of the new symptoms that they're experiencing. Young women are experiencing these menstrual symptoms for the first time, and any natural relief that we can provide is really, really helpful. The next here is Intune, and Carrie mentioned a little bit of the wonderful benefits of Intune. Intune is for, think about studying or working. So for teens, we're thinking about being in school. We're thinking about sitting home now and working remotely, having to pay attention, be focused, and really work through what it is that that needs to get accomplished. And so it's uplifting. It's got an earthy smell. It's relaxing, and it's it's really harmonizing. It's meant to kind of balance the systems that create some hyperarousal, that create difficulty with focusing. And so the other thing that I want to mention when we're talking about all of these oils is that for teenagers, if you got a teen or a kid that's not comfortable taking capsules, or they don't want to have a smell on them, use any of the options that come in an oil form. So Adaptive, for example, comes in an oil form, and so does Motivate. And either of those can be put in the diffuser. I find that Adaptive is really effective in helping me focus, and it will create that sense in the air. So like Katrina referenced earlier, with having the opportunity to have the aroma on her necklace to impact the children that she was working with, you can do the same with the kids that you're working with. Before we jumped on and started really talking, Valerie was sharing about using diffusers in different settings to help create healing and calming and opportunity for people to have better overall effects from the use of the aromatic constituents of the essential oil. So if you want to just begin to incorporate it into your routine, that's a really easy and simple way to do so. Those are just some quick thoughts on teens. And now I'm going to hand it over to Liz to jump into talking about adults.
Hello, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Crawford. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, and I help people to find their healthy place through really changing their ideals about nutrition and using supplements and essential oils. It's something I love, truly. Katrina, if you could slide the document up a little bit. Just a little bit. So I'm going to talk about oils for adults, and I've been an adult for most of my adult life, so I feel super qualified to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about every single one of the oils. Many of them we covered in I Have Oils Now What last week, which you can catch the recording of. Also within that presentation and our Essential Oil 101, we go into pretty big detail on using oils aromatically, topically, and internally. So if you're a little fuzzy on that, we have great resources for you. So let me dive in. Everything that we're talking about here, any ailment that's coming up, we as wellness advocates are always looking to what is the root cause. How can we get down to what's underneath the surface so that we're not just putting a Band-Aid on the symptoms, but we're actually stopping it at its core. So the best way we can do that, and we've all, I think, touched on supplementation and using lifelong vitality, but it is truly the foundation for health. If you've seen the doTERRA wellness pyramid, or maybe the lifestyle pyramid, the base of it is eating right. Now, yes, eating whole foods, shopping the perimeter of the grocery store, those are all awesome things to do, but just know that our modern day produce doesn't have the same nutritional value that produce did in the 50s. It's a very different world we live in. Farmland is overproduced and the soil is largely depleted from the vital nutrients that we need. And vital nutrients mean that they are essential to life. So we need these nutrients, and if we're not getting them from our food, then we need to supplement. We need to fill those gaps somehow. And that is where supplementation comes into play. We have a whole other presentation on supplementation alone, which I encourage you to join in. It's going to be awesome. But just know that Lifelong Vitality is a whole food multivitamin, an omega. Omegas are, the food sources for omegas are leafy green vegetables, nuts and seeds, and fatty fish. And the standard American diet is largely deficient in them. So supplementing, again, is key. This helps with brain fog, joint discomfort, skin, hair, and nail health, brain fog, if I didn't mention that already. Maybe I have some brain fog, just kidding. And then alpha CRS is for cellular health. And what that does is it fights free radicals, which are the cause of the aging process. And in doing so, allows your cells to produce more energy. So these three together are, again, the foundation from which we can really build on. And then in doing so, like really allow the oils to do their job. without this foundation, you know, it's a little bit of a more bumpy road. So we always want to start there first. Terrazyme, awesome. It helps to break down food. That reduces the amount of irritation in our guts, which inflammation can cause things like eczema, arthritis, migraines. So you really want to have an enzyme to break down food so it's not irritating the intestinal lining. And then PB Assist, awesome probiotic, you guys. We'll talk more about probiotics, but they are, like Carrie said, the lifeline to our immune system. It's really important to supplement with that as well. So that's the foundation. Balance and Serenity, we talked about those last week. Put them together and you basically have liquid Xanax. That's all you need to know. Lemon, we've talked about that. Awesome for detoxifying. Slim and Sassy is something we haven't talked about yet though. This is a blend of essential oils that make it so that sugar doesn't absorb into your bloodstream quite as fast. So it's great for diabetics. It's great for anybody who's trying to reduce cravings. So Slim and Sassy is something you can just put a couple of drops in your drinking water. You could also make a veggie cap if you don't like the taste of it, but we also have it put together in a soft gel so that you can take it internally without having to taste it. It's peppermint, cinnamon, and grapefruit. Interesting combination. We do make a chewing gum with Slim and Sassy, and I just want to plug that because I feel like it doesn't get enough press. It's really, really yummy, and it helps with cravings, and then you also get that chewing sensation. So you're tricking yourself into thinking that you've had a snack, and you really didn't. So I highly recommend you check that out. Frankincense, cellular support, anti-inflammatory, great for brain health. Katrina mentioned it's great for focus in kids who have attention deficit disorder. And it's wonderful, 1 drop under your tongue every day for adults, just to help with flushing out cells that are actively reproducing in a bad way. So if you're reading between the lines, frankincense is a tumor inhibitor. So that's why I really like to take it. And then DDR Prime, another oil that I don't think gets enough press. This is, again, an oil that helps with cellular health. It does have frankincense in it, as well as clove, which is like the world's strongest antioxidant. So it's really, really important for, again, fighting those free radicals and flushing out cells that are producing in an unhealthy way. And what it does is it supports healthy cell growth so that when the cells are reproducing, we're not reproducing sick cells, we're reproducing healthy cells and healthy DNA. And that's how we can really get to the cellular level of our health as a whole. So DDR Prime's awesome. Again, you can put it along your spine, or we have supplements so you can just take it internally really nice and easily. And as we know, we are getting older into adulthood, you start to feel aches and pains and you start to notice your joints more. So Deep Blue is something that can be used to reduce inflammation in those tender areas. So let's say you don't work out very often, and then you have like a day where you kind of go balls to the walls and you wind up getting sore. This is a great oil for any of that type of discomfort after a workout. You can also reduce discomfort too by using it before a workout. And that just warms up your muscles and allows you to get a better stretch in. The oils in it are anti-inflammatory and increase circulation. So it brings more oxygen to the area of injury or the area of discomfort, and it helps to speed healing. Also really great to use post-surgery to speed healing, not directly on a wound or an open incision or anything like that, but on the skin, on the muscle area, it'll help to speed healing. Another great area that we start to get concerned about as we get older is our skin and the health of the skin on our face. Wrinkles, age spots, things like that can become concerning. So awesome oil for that is yarrow palm. And the yarrow palm oil, if you've never experienced it, it's pretty pretty awesome, you guys. It's blue. It's this beautiful indigo blue color. And what makes it that color is something called chemazoline, which is just kind of fun to say. And chemazoline absorbs into your skin, and it acts in a way where it just reduces the signs of aging. So it's going to help plump the fine lines and wrinkles, and it's going to turn over your skin cells faster so that you're not you don't have all that dry skin that tends to age us and make us look older. So it's a beautiful, beautiful oil. You can use it just straight on your face. You want to use it at night because there's a little bit of a blue tint to it that does fade. But I also like to add it into my plain moisturizer. And it just makes your skin feel incredible and glowy and gorgeous. And it has amazing emotional aspects as well. So I won't get into that, but it's just an incredible oil. I totally encourage you to research it a little bit or reach out to your favorite wellness advocate and see what they know. And then the last couple of oils here, On Guard and Breathe. We know On Guard is great for the immune system, boosts the immune system, kills germs in the air. Breathe opens up your airways, helps soothe any type of respiratory discomfort, congestion. So great for the winter, great for any cold and flu. And then Try Ease is something that we don't usually talk about this time of year because it's more associated with like springtime allergies. This is a blend of lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and it's in a capsule form. Those three oils together are the bomb trifecta for allergy sufferers. The lavender is an antihistamine. The lemon helps to cleanse out any sort of irritant in your system. And the peppermint is soothing. It's like a fire hose. It just calms down the inflammation and helps with any sort of irritation. So those three things together could be used in a diffuser, and it's awesome for that type of issue. But the capsule is really great too, because then you don't have to smell it if you don't want to. It's really easy just to take it on the fly. And I've had a lot of really great success stories with people transitioning from pharmaceuticals to using this in their place. And there's no side effects, just side benefits. And that's what I love about oils. That's what I love about our supplements. That you're not in danger. You're not going to have those types of concerns that you do with a lot of the traditional medicine. And that's not to say it has to replace it in all instances, but it can also work right alongside it. It can amplify what you're already doing, what you already have in place with your doctor. So never think it has to be one or the other, but there are times where going natural makes a lot more sense for your body as a whole. So, all right, you guys, that's all I have. I did not pay attention to the clock, so I'm sorry for that. But I will pass the mic to Brittany Pio.
Thanks, Liz. That was awesome. I could listen to you talk about the vitamins all day long. I always learn something new from you. So thank you, everybody. So we're going to talk a little bit about the glory years. And just to give you some of my background, I've been a wellness advocate with doTERRA for a couple of years now. I am also a massage therapist. I teach massage therapy, and my minor when I was in undergrad was aging studies or gerontology. And so there is a place in my heart for learning about caring for older people. But in general, what I took the most from those classes were there's age-related issues that come up with people, and then age-associated conditions that come up with older people. And a lot of times we're taught to believe that we have this life sentence of aches and pains, and our body's just giving up on us as we age. And really what it comes down to is that doesn't have to be our life sentence. By making healthy lifestyle choices throughout your whole life, and then even into older age, you can reverse or change a lot of those ailments that we associate with old age. So there's really only a few things that come up. that are truly connected with older age. And it's things like, okay, your muscles might atrophy or get a little bit smaller, but not to the point where it should affect and interrupt your daily life. And actually you need like less calories, things like that. But when it comes to like pain and memory loss and weight gain, those are not necessarily a sentence that we have to have as aging adults. So it has a lot to do with lifestyle choices, with stress. So that's why I love to teach people about using the supplements. And again, we're going to talk more about that in the weeks to come. But just keeping in mind that having that healthy foundation with a lifelong vitality pack is key, especially in those glory years. I know when I'm working with clients that are older, 9 times out of 10, they are coming to me with pain. So it is something that shows up a lot for all of us, but especially as we age, our wear and tear on our body and all of that is real. So frankincense, copaiba, and turmeric are great options to help manage your pain. And we're all different. So what works for me might not work for you and vice versa. And that's what's nice with these 3 is that you can play around and see which one works best for you. I highly recommend that everybody takes that drop of frankincense under their tongue every day, like Liz brought up with the anti-tumor properties. Copaiba is a great pain reliever. It's also great for sleep. I know a lot of older people complain about their sleep schedule and that they're sometimes not able to sleep through the night. And I know for me and a lot of the people that I work with, copaiba helps well with that and the pain relief too. You can get copaiba in the oil form or a soft gel. Turmeric, the turmeric dual capsules are awesome. The science and technology that have gone into that to ensure that you're getting all of the healing properties from turmeric, because if you have ever been told before to use turmeric, you always have to add some cracked pepper in with it. But you don't have to do that with the technology that doTERRA has presented for us. So that's really great. Another major concern that comes up for people as we age are fine lines and wrinkles. And so with the Immortelle, you can incorporate that into your skincare routine, really no matter what your age is, to prevent or reduce or minimize those wrinkles and fine lines. You can apply under your eyes if you have like any bags there or crow's feet. A really great spot to apply that Immortelle is actually on your forehead. This can help with memory and cognition. There's a lot of great oils in there that are very potent and that can help not only reduce those wrinkles and fine lines, but also maybe help stimulate your memory too. And the last thing I wanted to mention is the bone nutrient. So like I talked about with those age-related concerns, we do lose bone mass as we age. We know that that is true to happen. How much you lose does depend on like lifestyle choices. If you used and abused your body, maybe you were malnourished at different points in your life, or you dealt with different illnesses. So some of us can lose more bone mass than others. So as we age, no matter what, we want to consider our bone health. We want to stay active and healthy, and we don't want to worry about if we take a fall, that we're breaking a hip or a shoulder. So by giving yourself that extra protection along with the lifelong vitality, I think you can really set yourself up for feeling good, being preventative, or working to combat and reverse some of the things that have already come up for you. So I'm just going to be respectful of everybody's time and wrap it up there with the glory years. And I just wanted to just tell everybody what a great job they've done so far tonight.
Cool. Thanks, Britt. So we will, in just wrapping up real quick, and we'll do the panel. So I just wanted to point out on the bottom, we have the dilution ratios, and what you'll notice there is these are the recipes that you would use in conjunction with a roller bottle. So what you'll see is all of these recipes are giving you the number of drops recommended when you're making your own roller bottle. So you'll see infants 2 to 8 drops. That when you're seeing the drop amount, that means total. So if you're adding in, let's say 4 oils, you're going to do 2 drops of each so that you're totaling up to that 8. And when it comes to diluting, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's really based off of each person and how their sensitivity is. So if ever you need to just add a little bit more coconut oil, there's no harm in doing that after the fact if you're noticing more sensitivity. So a ton of information tonight. I think each of these different topics can get broadened in, but one of the things as we're wrapping up to just remember is the monthly wellness box makes the most sense as each of these things are coming up and you're like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try that. I would just invite you to explore the monthly wellness box or the loyalty rewards program, because it's an option where you can customize a wellness box for yourself, try out these things, but also accumulate points that you can cash in to try other products for free. So the way that it's designed, every 3 months that you're a part of the program, you earn another 5%. So you start with 10% that you get back in doTERRA cash. Then after 3 months, it bumps up to 15%, then to 20, 25, and 30%. So that each order that you're putting in, you work up to 30% back, and you can cash that in for doTERRA cash. You can try out all of the oils. What's been awesome for us is we use doTERRA's shampoo, conditioner, supplements, hair care, or skin care, all of these lifestyle things, and then are able to accumulate points that we can try all these oils out for free and keep our oil stash stocked up. So I just invite you to take advantage of the loyalty rewards program, play around with it, and customize a wellness box that makes sense for you and your family. So for tonight, we just want to open it up with the last 10 minutes. We stayed on track with time this week, which is exciting. That's our intention every week. But open up tonight for panel discussion and discuss different testimonies. So if you have something specific that you want to share, there's a little reaction icon, and we just invite everyone that's on with us on Zoom right now. We'd love to hear everyone. So it doesn't matter if you use the oils for yourself, if you share, or if you do this as a business. We want to hear from all of you. So just use the little reaction button on the bottom. You can raise your hand on there or put a thumbs up, and we'll just kind of, in an organized fashion, go through so everyone can share that would like to. So who would like to go first? Just hit that reaction button, and Kira, go ahead.
I'm always game to share.
I love it.
So my daughter's 15. About a year and a half ago, she started experiencing some trouble, digestive issues, terrible stomach aches. We took her to a pediatric gastroenterologist down at Albany Med after multiple trips. She's been scoped, she's been tested, can't find the root of what's going on. She does have a slight lactose intolerance issue. But even with careful, food prepping and whatnot, we're still running into issues. And probably the 2 best go-to items that we have found are the PB Assist and the Terrazyme. So we're using both of them for her. And it's so cute because she's like, Mom, I'm running out. You need to order fast. Like, she knows when there's only 10 left. Can you get it by the end of the week? Because what if I end up using all 10? So she is very cognizant of, making sure that she's keeping track, and she's loving the fact that she no longer has to be on any of the prescription medications, that these have been able to help her out. And I'm also loving the fact that she has her own stash of oils, and I'm finding that more and more as things come up, things are disappearing from my stash, and I'm going, Quinn, where's I have it, hold on. So I have to have, okay, I'm putting an order in, what do you need? And then I've got tonight, it was so funny, my son, who I haven't seen in 20 days because of quarantine, and his girlfriend, just came home for a few hours, and his girlfriend said, hey, do you have I need a digest and roller ball. Can you order me one? I said, I have an extra one. Here's mine. So I'm thoroughly influencing the next generation on integrating health and wellness. So even though my son calls it my shaman stuff, he's still, Mom, do you have an oil for this? You betcha. So I just want to say, learning at any age. And the old man, even he takes turmeric dual capsules because he was complaining every morning of his aches and pains. And I said, here, try this for 30 days and let me know how you feel. After 30 days, I said, hey, you know, I haven't heard you complaining as much about aching every morning. He's like, you know, I really don't as much as I used to. I said, see, it's working. So I got them all. Everybody across the board has got something that they're using. So
I love it. I love it. Jessica Smith said her son and husband love the Terrazyme. Anytime they have belly issues, they call them dirt pills. And I'm very curious why dirt pills has been, oh, because they look like they have dirt inside. It cut off. So I didn't see that. I love it. Dirt pills. We might have to use that. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Jess. Anyone else that would like to share a testimony? Just use the little reaction icon on the bottom and you can share. I'll share. Oh, go ahead. No, I won't share because there's hands. I didn't see them. Go ahead, Sarah Trumfio. I was just going to fill the time. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So I have a 12-year-old, and so for a couple of years now, we have completely gutted our medicine cabinet, and our medicine cabinet is now full of doTERRA essential oil products. And so I do love, I know that we have talked about that before, but I do love that she goes and she gets what she needs when she needs it. And so she has learned a ton. She really loves the chewables. And so it's funny though, she was looking at the other day, she's like, oh, I'm supposed to be taking 2 of these because she's 12. So she's like, oh, okay. So I got her own little pill case, and she pre-fills these for every day. And she feels, super important about that. And she also takes an On Guard Plus every day to just help with her immune system right now. And then she also does every day. You can tell she opened these like a savage. Look at this. But she loves these, and they are like those pixie stick things. So, she has her own little routine that she does in the morning with her stuff. She also keeps this right by her when she's, learning. Right now she's, taking classes on the computer. So she has this little homework helper, and she keeps it right beside the computer. And so she uses that throughout the day. And then if she has a test, she diffuses peppermint in the room to stimulate her brain and keep her alert. And then just the other thing that I wanted to mention is her and I do have seasonal allergies, and I know that this was mentioned, but the Tri-Ease has been a godsend. And then the last thing is the Breathe Stick. This is similar to, if you're familiar with like a Vicks Vapor Rub, but this is really great if there's congestion. Just rub it right on their chest, and you can even rub it on their back. But this has been really great to have in our medicine cabinet too. So I could go into so many other things, but I want other people to have time to share.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, Sarah. Liz Crawford, you had your hand raised too. Do you want to share next?
Yes, sure. I just wanted to say, and I'm not even being silly about this, all of the kids' supplements are really delicious. I really like them. And I wanted to tell you too that if you have an adult, if you're an adult or want like a teenager to take the omegas, they are formulated for both children and adults. So the dose is actually the same. So you can do the liquid omegas if swallowing pills is an issue or a concern. And even the A to Z kids supplements are formulated after the alpha CRS and the XE Omega together. So yeah, you would have to do a double dose if you're an adult, but if you're an adult who doesn't like to swallow pills, and I know there's many people out there who just can't or won't or don't, and the chewables are a really, really great option. They're yummy too. That's all.
Cool. Well, and on that token, there is the new fiber and greens as well. So you could add that in if you are wanting to boost your health and not swallow pills. So one last